What's up, cousins, and happy Halloween. In the spirit of spooky season, we're giving you a special with today's episode as I count down the top 5 best Halloween themed Disney Channel original movies, better known as DCOMS. For a lot of you that don't know me, I am a huge Disney fan, and honestly, probably an even bigger DCOM fan. So it comes at no surprise that today's list is focused on these classic films that not only shaped me as a teen, but also influenced the future of Disney Channel and its movies, to say the least. Now I know what you're thinking. Top 5. Why not top 20? Top 10? And the answer is simple. It's none of your business. JK. But no, seriously, narrowing down your top 5 is actually harder than you think. You got to really choose the best of the best. And I decided to do just that. So you didn't have to. You're welcome. Before we kick things off, this is a spoiler alert. So you have been warned. And at number 5, I have 2000's Phantom of the Megaplex. This movie actually follows a guy named Pete Riley, who is an assistant manager at his local theater. And basically what happens is he's put in charge of making sure the theater is in top shape for the corporate heads because they're hosting this huge premiere. Now, I consider this movie a must-see simply because it proves there is nothing like experiencing a movie in a theater, even if said movie does look super mid. There's so much about this movie that just fills me up as a millennial. The lack of cell phones, the fresh off the rack mall clothing, even the annoying and unnecessarily rude token black friend. I think the movie is just perfect because it does a great job of proving that teens can be responsible, resourceful, and witty in practically any situation. Pete really managed the hell out of that staff though. You just know they dragged his ass in the break room every chance they had. But he stood on business and he didn't play around about his coin and ultimately revealed his boss was a terrorist. So I know that promotion was nasty. All right, next is Halloweentown. And before you even try to come for me, just know this was not easy to place it here. But when I look at this movie compared to the other selections, this one is fine where it is. It's a quintessential DCOM, especially when discussing Halloween. It's like the baby boy of Disney Channel. It's surely keeping the lights on too. In a nutshell, this movie is about this young girl named Marnie who is obsessed with Halloween and anything related to it. She's like so into it to the point where she damn near wants every day to be just that holiday. Can you imagine how exhausting it would be to celebrate Halloween an entire year? Ma'am, no, absolutely not. Enjoy this one night, my love. Anyway, so she finds out her grandma, who unsuspiciously, by the way, visits in the middle of the night every blue moon, is a witch and that she might just be one too. She practically sneaks off with her absolute smart ass mouth baby brother and sister to Halloweentown to hunt down her grandma, Aggie, and get some answers about who she is. Fast forward, we found out this creepy ass dude has been harassing the townspeople and casting this bizarre frozen statue spell on residents. So while Marnie is seeking answers, so is her grandma. Side note, but the best part of this movie comes courtesy of Harriet, who is Aggie's best friend or whatever. So there's this part where they're catching up and she tells Aggie she started volunteering at the Hitler shelter as she's holding a basket of muffins. This woman looks at Aggie and says, "Didn't occur to me that they didn't have heads." Like, what in the like, what do you mean you volunteered at a Hitler shelter and it didn't occur to you that they didn't have heads? Girl, whoever wrote that, comedy gold. And I mean every word. Harriet really was that girl. So anyway, turns out the creepy guy was the mayor who had a crush on Marnie's mom, who's actually a bitch in the movie, but that's neither here nor there. I'm guessing this was when they attended Halloweentown High. I don't know. And I was today years old when I realized his character being a warlock or magician was kind of foreshadowing him as the villain the whole time. This is a classic DCOM in every way possible, but I definitely feel like the nostalgia is really what cements it here. I feel like whenever we discuss the best movies. There's your favorite and there's the best. For me, this is definitely like my favorite DCOM or Halloween themed DCOM. But in terms of best, this is where I have to put it. I personally love the way the relationship between Marnie and Aggie is depicted on screen because it loosely resonates with me and that same relationship I had with mine. So that's probably why I hold such a close attachment to the movie. Like I said, because of that nostalgia aspect and because of the sentimental value it has for me. But there's definitely better options, in my opinion, than Halloweentown that definitely could be bigger contenders for the best Halloween themed DCOM. Now, coming in at number 3, it's Under Wraps, specifically the 97 version. Insanely underrated. I remember seeing this movie for the first time and thinking mummies were real. I'm not even joking. I just couldn't get past the special effects and how legit this mummy looked, or was it just me? Shout out to Clara Bryant. She was one of the early Disney It girls and just so happens to star in one of my all-time favorite DCOMs, True Confessions with Shia LaBeouf. Now, Under Wraps is a physical comedy at its best. In a sense, that movie taught me that you really have to express yourself with your emotions in order to be heard and understood. Oh my God, wow. That was deep. There have been other reboots, but you can't really compete with a classic like this. It captures a particular Disney Channel humor that's nearly impossible to replicate. So hang it up. I haven't seen the new versions, and I'm definitely not downplaying them, but you just can't get better than the 97 version. I'm sorry. It's ultimately the inspiration for what is to come or any reboots, and it just ticks off all the boxes for me. At numero dos, we have Don't Look Under the Bed. Now, this is a scary movie. Even at my big age, I'm still traumatized by that boogie person, whatever it is, and Ty Hodges in those green contacts. Oh, man. The level of fear this movie bestowed upon me is unmatched. The title in itself just reads as a passive-aggressive threat. Don't look under the bed. Like, what? So, the main character, Frances, is being tormented and harassed by a boogeyman. And because she's practically an innocent bystander in this, just about everything crazy going on in her town is somehow blamed on her based on her recent manic behavior. It even gets so bad that the school counselor is invited to her home for dinner. Do you know how messed up that is to ask for the bread while your parents discuss your mental health with a school official in the comfort of your own home? I transfer so fast. Not even kidding. Lo and behold, we found out the boogeyman is non-binary and is a result of failed imaginary friends. That's pretty unfair if you think about it. I'm being tormented because Captain Sniffles has morphed into Freddy Krueger. Be so for real. That aside, I absolutely love this movie and the DCOM era it captures. It rightfully deserves its position on this list, and I think it's just fine where it is. I would definitely watch this with my kids just so I can assure them that, it's not real, because it gets to a certain point in this movie where things just gets really, really crazy. And there are just moments where you're like, really? This is for kids? And I mean, it doesn't really push the envelope in that sense. No one watched it with us. We just kind of went into this blinded, just thinking like, oh, this might just be a couple of songs in here and we just might have a good time. But I don't know. Disney really had a plan to really shake us up, and they shook us up. It's a comfort movie for me. I know that's a bit of a contradiction, but it's uncomfortable as this movie may make you and as wild as it may be, which I definitely feel like it's definitely one of Disney's greatest. Even outside of this list, I feel as though it's just definitely one of their best movies that they've ever done. The cast is great. The plot is great. It's just unpredictable in the sense where for that time, and I feel as though for Disney, especially with them being known as a brand to be very playful and very like, they always depend on that kind of like playfulness and always just not being so serious. But this gave kind of like R.L. Stine, maybe he had something to do, or they had something to do with this movie. It's really, really good. It's like the Tim Burton of Disney Channel original movies. I just remember as a kid, whether it was Halloween, Thanksgiving, even Valentine's, whatever the holiday was, I just know back when I was coming up, you felt the excitement of holiday season because Disney, they would just make everything feel fun. The moment a new holiday was coming around, they would go ahead and have everything themed for that month. So it just felt really good to just see how committed they were to making the holiday season fun, especially for people that may have not celebrated, but also for people that may not have the opportunity to go out. I specifically remember the That's So Raven episode when they turned into cows. If you know, you know. They basically end up getting invited to Alana's Halloween party. They had no costumes, and they ended up coming across, I think, a potion book from Raven's grandmother. They end up finding out that they accidentally made a potion to turn into cows. And I think one of my favorite parts of the episode is when they look into the actual cauldron and they pick out a button that fell off from Chelsea that was a button of a cow. And Raven's like, Chels, why couldn't you have been wearing a Halle Berry button? Like, that is so funny to me because no, seriously, Chelsea, why couldn't you have been wearing a Halle Berry button? I love that episode. I can watch that episode honestly any day because it's just incredibly hilarious. So this decision was not easy, and I definitely debated swapping it with another one on this list. But the number one spot goes to Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. Cinema. This is absolute cinema. Rarely do sequels surpass their predecessors, but this one ate so bad. We were really fed in this one. The brother is still a smartass. Mom is slightly less annoying and weirdly naive. Grandma Aggie is still that girl, but Marnie. We really have to talk about Marnie's social awareness because I could have told you Cal was a prime suspect from day one. He had our girl hooked, and rightfully so. Cal was definitely easy on the eyes, so I get it. But that doesn't excuse inviting a complete stranger to a hidden room during a party. My mom would never play that. Fast forward, Cal reveals his ultimate plan is to avenge his father by turning humans into mutants, stealing magic from Marnie's family, and destroying the portal between Halloweentown and the real world. Baby, this is a plot. And even better, we get to see way more of Halloweentown here. And you can tell they had a bump up in that budget too. It's easily one of the best Disney Channel original movies ever. It's my number one because it could have easily sold itself on the nostalgia from the original, but it does an amazing job as a standalone. That in itself is what makes it the greatest all time for me, hands down. The introduction to new characters, the fact that we're able to see more of Halloweentown. It's just a great movie in every sense of the word because there's so many character arcs that we're able to see. It just does a great job in not only continuing the story of Halloweentown and giving us a new installment, but it just is an overall great movie just in itself. We really have a very serious plot because Marnie realizes that she's messed up. And she's realized she's put her family, she's put everything in danger. Like, it gets real in the second one. And I just love the fact that it goes there and we are on the edge of our seats the whole time, just hoping that before midnight, Marnie is able to save, honestly, all of humanity. That's what this movie feels like. It feels like Marnie is she's fighting for humanity. It's more than Halloweentown. It's more than her family. It's more than it's just bigger than her. It's the best one, hands down. And that's why it tops my list. Round of applause. Round of applause. Do you agree with my picks? Is it a chop? Let us know. And don't be scared. Till next time. Peace.